Went from condos to Pop's house. On calls now bus routes.
Well, right now, the impact of that ongoing government shutdown is really rippling across the country, including, of course, right here in Houston.
Yeah, so over the weekend, Bush Airport shut down security checkpoints in terminals B, C, and D. What did that mean? It meant that everybody was funneling through security at just terminals A and E, and that's still happening this morning. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that if this shutdown continues, federal workers miss another paycheck, we can expect the travel issues to only get worse.
So we've been staying on top of this for weeks now, and we've got all the impacts here in the Houston area. Our Devon Raming, for example, covering the local efforts to support those who are struggling to put food on the table. And first, we're going to start with Ugochi Uloka live at Bush Airport. Hey, Ugochi, so what are the lines looking like now compared to what we saw at 5 a.m.?
Well, start wait times are still at about 90 minutes here at Terminal E here at Bush Airport. Now, you can see the standard TSA lines really backed up here at this hour compared to an hour ago. And you can see that the line starts at the front of the door. You see how packed it is right now at this hour. But what's really interesting, if you wrap around this way, we'll show you this side over here. TSA pre-check, this side is also pretty packed. You can see all the people here. The line is building up at this hour. So a lot of folks here obviously waiting a lot longer than they usually would. And we spoke to a man named Will, who is traveling to Chicago about half an hour ago. He talks about how long he got here, or how long he waited, and when he got here to the airport. Take a listen.
I wasn't going to be here 3 hours, so.
You're like 3 hours is too long.
Yeah, I mean, if I miss it, I miss it. I guess I really wasn't sure what to expect. I'm just glad that the line's not out the door, so.
Yeah, this video shows lines overflowing outside Bush Airport less than 24 hours ago. Now, the Houston Airport's Director of Aviation is urging passengers to get here early and stresses long security wait times could last as long as the federal government is still shut down. This means wait times could surpass 3 hours here at Bush Airport, with only TSA checkpoints at terminals A and E open for passengers. And at Hobby Airport, fewer screening lanes are open, with wait times extending over an hour there. Now, Houston Airport staff are trying to help TSA workers as much as they can to move passengers safely and along as they deal with staffing shortages. So back out here live, again, you can see things are picking up at this hour. So just want to be clear, it really is long at this hour, typically on any other day, but it's really double the amount of people because of the long wait times here. So that's what we're trying to show you. So the biggest message is get to the airport early. Much earlier than you usually would. So say if you get here an hour before you typically would catch your flight, or 2 hours before, go ahead and out an hour on top of that to avoid potentially missing your flight. We had reports of some people missing their flight yesterday because the TSA lines were just way too backed up. Now, you heard from Will there saying he's not going to get here 3 hours earlier. He got here 2 hours before. So that was his advice there, and he was able to make his flight. You'll hear more from him coming up in the next hour on KH11 Plus at 7 a.m. Reporting live here at Bush Airport, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
Woo! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You do not want to be at an airport right now while the government is shut down. I mean, that was in Houston. But I'm sure LAX is, no different. I'm sure. Look, man, I don't blame the TSA agents. I don't blame them. Hey, in fact, if I'm not going to get paid, what am I doing here? I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my family. What am I doing here if I'm not getting paid? Now, shout out to the TSA agents that say, you know what? Even though I'm not getting paid, I got a job I got to do because people need to get home. So out of the kindness of my heart, and because of who I am as a person, I'm going to stay and do my job, right? And, when they pay me, they'll be able to pay me. But I'm going to stay. Shout out to them, too. I'm not saying, hey, if you're not getting paid, get up out of there. I'm not saying that. When it comes down to my faith, I can't look at it like that. Do to others as you want done to yourself, right? And you wouldn't want to be sitting up in there for 10 hours because there's not enough workers, right? So shout out to them. But I don't blame any of the TSA agents that say, you know what, I can't do this. The government shut down. I can't pay my bills. I can't take care of my family. I got to go do something different. I don't blame any of them. Not at all, you know? I mean, right now it's sad that the government is even shut down because these people hate Trump so much. They hate the man so much. I don't care how anyone wants to deny it. The government is shut down because the Democrats hate Trump. A deal is already set up to be made. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept, you know what? We lost this one. We love to fight another day, but let's think about the people. They're not thinking about the people. It's funny how most of the people in this world, especially in California, put stuff on Trump. But y'all not looking at the Democrats right now saying, hey, why don't y'all make this deal so we could get our government assistance, so we could get these people back to their jobs, you know, so we don't have to be going through this at the airports, you know, and everywhere else. This is going on everywhere. This isn't just about the airports. This is with the education system as well. This is with the downtown county buildings and the court buildings and things like this, things like that. This is going on everywhere right now. Everything is backed up. So why are people not looking at the Democrats at this time and saying, you know what? Now this ain't on the Republicans. I don't care how I feel about Trump. Y'all need to get in there and make a deal so we could get this back going. Lose the pride, lose the ego. Y'all lost this one. Oh, well. You got to do what's right when it come down to the people right now. That's what it's all about. That's what's most important at this particular time and moment. That's what I think people need to be thinking about at this time. You know? That's why I also say another thing, man, I'm going to point out, and I pointed this out in other videos, but I'm going to do it now because I think it's important. This is why I say no matter what type of job you got, no matter what you're doing because you have a degree in that area, I always say, and I'm big on this, have something of your own. I don't care what it is that you built. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be your own business. Start a website selling products. I don't care what it is. You all should have something going on. So if things like this happen, you don't have to worry about a check from someone else. It don't feel good when you get fired from a company, or you get let go of a company, or you get laid off, or the government shut down and now you're not getting a check consistently. It don't feel good. I've been through that situation. I remember the last time I've been through that situation, I think 2011, maybe the beginning of 2012. I said, I'm not going through this anymore. I'm not going to give no one else the power to take away funds that I need to take care of myself. I'm not going to give no one that power again. If I'm not going to be able to pay bills, it's going to be because I failed when it come down to whatever I'm trying to build, whatever I'm doing. I'm going to put it all on me. I'm not going to put it on a job, because it don't matter how hard you work. They have power to let you go whenever they want to let you go. This is why it's important to have your own thing going on. So I hope that all of those TSA agents who did quit went out there and started something. I said this is a time where people need to come together, get something going together. I said this the other day. Why we can't see people who, you know, look at it like look at it like, you know what? Hey, us four, we're all going through this right now. So let's start something. Let's get some products, or let's just get something going. We can start a booth. We can start a quick online store. We could all, you know, promote it on our platforms and things like that. And let's see where this go. What else can we do right now? You know, unless you're going to go out there and look for another job. What else are we going to do? But you could utilize this time right now to build something for yourself. So if something like this ever happened again, you'll be ready. You'll be prepared for it. It may even turn into something where you don't got to work for someone else again. But I'm just saying, use this, what's going on right now, use this as a growth moment. We can always turn a wrong into a right if we sit back and analyze the situation outside of our pride and emotions. You know, really lock in and say, you know what, let me let this show me what I'm really capable of, because I've been dependent on this job for the last 10 years. And now the government shut down. So let me show myself what I'm capable of doing and go out here and make something happen. I hope a lot of people are doing that right now. Because I'm not one of those individuals who have information like, well, I started my business and it's booming. I don't want to see other people grow. No, I want to see others, you know, build and grow. I'm a person who builds off of unity. You know, that's why I really love Paul in the Bible. You know, when it come down to him telling his stories and of the time when he was walking the earth and how he lived for Christ, how he's big on bringing us together, being one body in Christ and everything like that. I love the way Paul speaks because he's all about unity. So I'm all about, if I have information, I'm going to put the information out there. That's the way it should always be. You know, so this is a bad time for a lot of people. And right now it's the time where we need to all come together. Because guess what? You know, and I say this last thing before I end this video. Guess what? The politicians, they still getting a check. They checks haven't stopped. They getting paid. You know, you got some of them who sat back and said, well, I'm going to donate my check over here, or I'm not going to accept my check, or whatever, right? But you really think that they not collecting their money? Come on, man. Come on. That's false. That is false. They getting their check. They getting their bag. You best to believe they getting their bag. And these are the individuals who's taking a step back and saying, oh, well, we're not going to make a deal. You know, we getting paid, but who cares about what's happening with everybody else? These are the people who y'all want in power. So many people out here believe in the Democrats so much. Well, look, it don't look like the Democrats care about the ones who they said that they were protecting, which is, you know, leave the job. Understandable. You wasn't getting paid. No one really could say nothing about that unless they're going through that situation, right? The ones who stayed understand your situation as well. Hey, that's Christ-like of you, you know, to stay even though you're not getting paid. Hopefully you get reimbursed for everything, you know, and they don't just start back. Oh, we're just going to start from here. Once we start everything back going, we're not going to reimburse you for, you know, the past work you've done. Hopefully that's not the case, but dealing with this world and this government, who knows, man? But, you know, nothing but love and to all of those individuals, because this is a terrible situation and I don't like to see anybody in this type of situation, you know, but, hey, right now, don't take no trips until this entire government shutdown situation get figured out. I would suggest anyone don't take trips right now, man. It's not looking good.
I had to show 'em that I wasn't made.